everyone, welcome back to the Kia Hyundai channel. My name's Gabi and this is the 2025 Kia Sportage in the X-Line trim level. Now the X-Line and X-Line Limited take a turn for the Sportage for this year because they're the only ones that have been unchanged other than the price point. So we have a fresh new look. Everything else is going to remain the same, but don't worry, I'm still going to give you a walkthrough of this vehicle. So if you are considering something like this, you know everything there is to know about it. So let's talk about what's changed first. Number one is going to be your Kia emblem. It's now in this beautiful satin black finish, still going to have that low profile look, so it almost looks like it's stamped into the grille itself, and it beautifully complements the exterior white paint. We also have some gloss black in our front grille, as well as the surrounding pieces of the grille, tying in everything very nicely. Just a side note for the grille itself, I think it looks phenomenal, easy-ish to clean. Of course, anything intricate like this, you might have to give it a little more detail, but nonetheless, it looks good. We have a bit of white, or body color I should say, for our front bumper, and then right underneath that, another trim piece of that beautiful gloss black. Underneath there, we have some enhanced skid plates for the X-Line and X-Line Limited trims that have now turned to have a dark look to them as well too. And don't worry you guys, if all this sounds confusing, I will include a clip of what last year's model looked like so you can get a quick side-by-side or a quick refresher. For the headlights, that is going to remain the same. We have the beautiful LED boomerang style daytime running lights that give a nice sharp edge and look absolutely stunning. And then next to that, we have our LED MFR headlights. So our low and high beams will be LEDs, giving you extremely sharp cutoff and all the visibility you need driving this vehicle at nighttime or in Canada where it gets dark at 5 p.m. in the winter. For safety, we still have a ton of great safety systems and settings. I'm just gonna pop the hood so we can talk about the powertrain. And while I do that, let's talk about what the safety we get in this specific model.
But wait, what about the hazards and turn signal indicators?
Okay, I'll show you that too. All right, let's turn on the hazards. You can see how they're integrated into our headlamp unit. And then for a turn signal, let's do the right side. Check it out. I don't know if you guys can see, but we also have our side mirror indicator. So your marker, oh, I guess I'll turn it back on. So that's actually going to start on this trim level if you are someone who does like the look and of course the added safety that comes with the side indicator. Check out this trim level. If all the other things I'm going to talk about doesn't already make you want it enough. All right, let's pop the hood. You do have a prop arm for this hood. It's not hydraulic, but it's okay. The powertrain is a 2.5 liter 4-cylinder gasoline direct injection plus multi-point injection, so it utilizes both fuel delivery systems. You're going to have 187 horsepower with 178 pound-feet of torque. Tied to that, you have your 8-speed automatic transmission, and it's a traditional automatic, no dual clutches, no IVTs, no CVTs, just a regular torque converter automatic, so a nice, smooth shifting experience. All right, let's work our way to the side. I mentioned earlier that this trim level is going to come with a couple safety options that are not available on the LX below it, and that's going to be your blind spot detection. So I'm sure you're familiar with that safety system already. Essentially, it's going to utilize your sensors to monitor what's happening in the blind spots around you, and that will give you not a notification, but a visual alert on your mirror to show you that there is a vehicle in your left or right blind spot, but you will get an audible alert inside the cabin too, and some corrective braking to mitigate a collision in that sense. The car also has forward collision avoidance and lane keep and follow assist to make sure not only are you paying attention, but it will warn you and avoid a collision if it seems fit. Wheels. Wheels are different for this specific year. We still have that beautiful 19-inch alloy on a Michelin tire, but check it out, it's been blacked out. We have a nice gloss black finish, and even our Kia center cap has been darkened as well too. I think it looks absolutely stunning. The brake calipers also really stand out. For now at least. They will get dirty, but nice and shiny while the vehicle is brand new. The Michelin tire is exclusive to the X-Line and X-Line Limited trim levels as well too, so that's where you're going to get these beautiful wheels set up. I think it just looks so good. It definitely stands out with the lighter or white exterior paint. All right, let's continue. On the X-Line, another appearance package that changes is going to be your roof rails. So they go from being a low profile, almost sleek finish to this raised bridge or ladder style roof rail. It is two-tone, so you get gloss black and matte. And then for your window pillars, we do have gloss as well. That also translates to this accent along the rear panel, which I absolutely love on the Sportage. On other trim levels, that's going to be chrome, which definitely stands out a little bit more. Maybe it won't be in your preference, but I think the black looks very good. All right, coming along to the back, we'll take a look. This is probably one of my favorite parts, and this is what stood out to me. What inspired today's video is I actually walked into our detail bay, saw this, and said, oh, this vehicle is brand new. We already plasti dipped the badging, the emblems? No, it came from factory. So of course, beautiful tail lamps. They are a mix of LEDs and just regular bulbs. The Sportage badging is, again, that low profile black finish. I really appreciate that it's not glossy because that would show scratches a bit more. And then our Kia emblem in the very, very center. The X-Line is only available with all-wheel drive here in Canada, so we do get our X-Line badging over there. And then of course our traditional all-wheel drive system, which is primarily front-wheel drive, utilizing a bit of power to the rear wheels when the vehicle seems fit or deems fit. But we also get a dedicated terrain mode, which allows you to manipulate what you'd like your vehicle to do. So for snow, mud, or sand mode, the vehicle will adjust itself as it deems fit, or not as it deems fit, as you deem fit, and we'll change the stability control as well too to give you optimal traction in those conditions. For your storage space, you have a ton of room. We've done so many videos on the Sportage, and it's truly impressive each time. The best part about this vehicle is it's 5 seats all of the time. So if you're utilizing all of this cargo space, you still have access to all of those seats. You never have to knock one down to make more room like you would in something with the captain's chairs configuration, if that makes sense. Underneath the floorboard, you do get a compact spare tire, which is something that is a little bit rare these days in a more compact vehicle segment, although this is a larger compact. And then if you do need to fold down those seats, you can use these tethers to knock them down right from the cargo area. So nice and easy. Some other things that have changed for the X-Line this year on the appearance are going to be your rear skid plates. So just like what we had in the front, everything has been blacked out for this year. You still have those rear parking sensors that actually start out on this trim level. And that's also going to give us access to rear cross-traffic collision avoidance assist. That is a mouthful, but seriously, such a great safety function to have in a vehicle. Essentially, if I'm backing this vehicle out of a busy parking lot and there's 2 huge vehicles beside me, it's going to be a little bit hard to see what's happening, if there's anybody walking behind, shopping carts, that kind of thing. This vehicle is going to utilize its sensors to watch what's happening around you and alert you if there is someone coming from the left or right side while you're reversing. It'll warn you first, and then if you fail to react, the car can emergency brake for you. I've had it happen in my car. It's absolutely terrifying, but very, very nice to have, so you're not hitting anything. So, and all of these safety functions can be turned off if you're not a fan. All right, that is going to sum up our exterior walkthrough. Charlotte's going to take over the inside and show you just how much safety and tech you get in the X-Line trim. Let's go.
Man, there sure are some subtle differences when it comes to the exterior of this vehicle, but the impressive touches are not going to stop there. Let's take a look inside, but before we do that, how do you get inside? Well, let me show you your key fob first. It's going to be your regular slim profile key fob, but it also has the integration of remote start, which does start on the X-Line trim. Again, one of my favorite features to start my car just from the key fob. Now, if I do want to get into the vehicle, we are actually operating with a proximity key, so I don't even really need to be holding this. I just have to have it on my person, press the button to lock and unlock the vehicle, and I can quickly get in. I'll have Gabby give a pan over at the cabin, that way you guys can see all of those fun details and finishes and really be able to orient yourself with how this vehicle is set up. But in true Kia Hyundai fashion, let's start off by taking a look at the driver's side door. On the driver's side door, you can see a lot more of those more rugged and outdoorsy elements, such as the wood grain trim, some more piano black, which perfectly matches all of those details on the exterior. And then of course, you're gonna have your window mirror controls and your sound system all starting here. When it comes to the seats themselves, this is something that's going to start on the X-Line trim and be carried to the X-Line Limited, but they are a quilted synthetic leather, which is very comfortable. These seats are also going to be heated, and starting on the X-Line trim is you have a power driver's seat. Lots of different ways to configure it with 2-way lumbar support. So again, it's going to be an incredibly comfortable ride. Another thing that starts on the X-Line trim has got to do with your steering wheel. Yes, it's got a steering wheel, don't worry, but it's going to be leather wrapped and heated, which again makes this a perfect vehicle for Canadian winters where it gets so cold. It's also fully heated, so it's not just certain touch points, it's all the way around, so no matter how you drive, it's going to be comfortable for you. One thing I love about what Kia does is how logically everything is set up, and I will be touching on that a little bit throughout this video, but the fact that I can access my media controls from one side and then my driving controls from the other, I think is really, really well set up. And then over here, again, all of my important elements at the touch of a button, like my brightness adjuster, traction control, and also electronic parking brake. In the center, I do have a digitized speedometer and tachometer and a 4.2-inch screen in the center, which gives me all of my useful information. And it can actually show me when I'm operating in that front wheel drive versus all-wheel drive. Also, tire pressure, because that's fun. I'll have Gabby come around and we'll keep talking about what we can see on the screens. But let's talk a little bit about some of the tech that you have in this vehicle, and if you are curious to learn more about the Kia Sportage, we have a full playlist about it on our YouTube channel. And also, if there's a specific tip and trick that you want to learn more about, we also have a playlist on that. If you want to know about it, we've done a video on it. Don't worry. But again, let's take a look at this screen here. So we have an 8-inch screen, which means we operate with wireless Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, which I absolutely love. The screen is also framed in piano black, so again, matching those exterior elements perfectly. On the side, very easy to use with your actual buttons, a favorites button, real tune knob, and everything along those lines. As we move down, we have more of that wood grain trim, which looks fantastic. You also have your climate control, which again, very easy to use. And if you look down, we actually have a wireless phone charger, which does start on this trim, meaning we can operate with a completely wireless experience in this vehicle. Woo! If you do want to utilize some type of connectivity, you also have 3 different ports, a 12-volt USB and USB-C. I already told you we've got heated seats and a heated steering wheel, which are right here. And then Gabby mentioned that we have the integration of drive modes and terrain modes, which you can easily configure by turning this knob and pressing down to switch between drive or terrain modes. Again, absolutely love that, and if you want to learn more about it, we've done a dedicated video to it. From here, more of our safety features like our parking camera, our parking sensors on the rear, very clear quality there with dynamic guidelines too, idle, stop and go, auto hold, and of course, one of my favorite little features is your guillotine style cup holders, which means you can really adjust the size to make them work for you. Tons of space in our center console too, and if you look up top, you can see we have a nice dark headliner, which is characterized on the X-Line trim. Let's take a look at the second row. In the back, we still have some great design elements. So even our seats back here, there's still that same synthetic leather, and they still have that same quilted detail. So even though you're in the second row, you're not losing out on some nice features and functionality. Speaking of features and functionality, rear air vents, absolutely one of my favorite things, especially if you have kids in young car seats. So you are able to get some airflow back here. You've got a convenience pocket down here too. And if you want to drop down in the center, you can take a look at your armrest with cup holders. Now, if you're looking at these seats and you're thinking, wow, you're sitting pretty straight, don't worry, they do recline for you all the way back, and then also they can fold almost flush too. However, they are not on a rail system. Now, it may look like you don't have a ton of room when it comes to legroom for the middle seat. Our carpets are just pressed up a little bit, so let me show you with my feet there. Now, this is an all-wheel drive vehicle, so we do have a decently sized hump just because of the way that the vehicle is actually configured with the drive shaft. But all things considered, this isn't too bad considering other SUVs in this segment. And again, if my friends love me and they're sitting here, I can easily use some of their legroom too. But overall, not bad, and not bad height-wise as well, especially since you do not have a sunroof in this trim. Well, that concludes our interior and exterior walkthrough, but if you guys are curious about the price point of this vehicle for 2025, the MSRP of this vehicle is $35,895 Canadian. That does not include any fees or taxes, so you'll have to check with your dealership if you want to get into one of these sweet rides. And by the way, if you do want to get into one of these sweet rides, why not come and see Gabby and myself here at Brantford Kia? We are a real car dealership located in Brantford, Ontario, specializing in all things Kia and Hyundai. You'll never believe it, right? Brantford Kia. But thank you guys so much for watching today's video. If you haven't already, make sure that you like this video, leave a comment down below on what you think of the new exterior package that we get to see. And if you haven't already, make sure that you subscribe to the Kia Hyundai channel. We'll see you next time. Bye.